You gotta love these trick questions. Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 nights of worship. So you tell me, how many rakats in Laylatul Qadr? Do you really think I would fall for such a silly question like that? That's right, if you don't know me, I'm the founder of versebyversequran.com and also lightuponlight.com. I was big in the Dawah scene for a while, and I also worked with Sheikh Yusuf Estes, Eddie from the Dean Show, stuff like that. Let me tell you something. If I spanked my adult daughter, there would be something wrong with me, okay? My adult daughter? Would you let your daddy spank you as an adult? I have the hadith in front of me, and as you can see, this is not joking and kidding around. The Muslims were mad at Aisha for making her make the camp fall behind because she lost her necklace. And as you can see, they ran out of water and they weren't able to do the wudu. So they were mad and they complained to her father Abu Bakr. And the Prophet was lying down on her and he hit her. And she said, the only thing that stopped me from getting up was the fact that Muhammad was laying down on me. And so I couldn't get up, but it actually says she was in pain from her father hitting her. This isn't playing around. This is just the way that these people were back then. These people are no example for anybody. Definitely not the best people in all humanity. So if you don't believe I'm Muslim, you can take a look at this article, Proof I Was a Muslim by Abdullah Samir. I get comments like that from time to time. But you can see that there's two major sites I created. One's lightuponlight.com, the other one's versebyversequran.com. Here's some proof and some emails you've got that from Yusuf Estes. Waleed Hakim mentioned me as one of the people that was a big dawah guy. Here's an old Islamic post I wrote. And if I scroll down, there's a picture of me at my wedding. Here's a picture of me at Masjid al-Haram in Makkah, in front of the Kaaba. Me and my wife in 2014. So yeah, there's lots of evidence that I was definitely Muslim, and you can check the article for yourself on my Medium. The funny thing is, Muslims have been waiting for the Day of Judgment now for 1400 years. Christians have been waiting for 2000 years. It ain't coming, dude. Keep waiting. No, I'm not wasting my time. I enjoy doing this. And I have over 100 people that have helped leave Islam. Check my testimonies page on abdullahsamir.com. I live in a world where Islam affects me, it affects my family, and we live in a world where the apostasy law for Islam still exists in many countries. So why wouldn't I talk about this? If your ex was abusive, if your ex was a bad person, if your ex was dangerous, then yes, you should actually warn other people about this ex. Why don't you say that to all the Muslims? Why don't you guys live your lives? Why are you preaching Islam? Why are you doing dawah? Why are you trying to make the world a better place? Why don't you guys just shut up and live your lives? No, it's not hate. It's just me telling my experiences and what I think about the Quran. It's not hate, it's just my opinion. If you don't like it, why are you here? I'm happy to hear that. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And for everyone else, here you go. There you can see that this actually does have an impact. That's why I do it. Memorizing the Quran truly is a waste of time. The reason why Muhammad wanted his companions to memorize the Quran is because back then that was the most reliable way of making sure that the Quran was so-called preserved, by having people memorize it. Written form was not a good idea back then because the Arabs were a pre-literate society. They weren't into writing. They used to write on bones and scraps and this and that. And that's why, because the Quran is mainly an oral recitation, we have variant readings. because when you're reciting it, there's different ways to recite it, and so what ended up happening was you ended up with variant readings, and that's actually proof that the Quran is not the verbatim word of God, but rather Muhammad's words. And it is such a complete and utter waste of time to memorize this book. Dude, I've been doing this for 5 years now. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I'm not scared. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep talking about Islam. Sorry, boy. Better luck next time with your threats. Actually, if you look at the world today and you look at countries which are less religious, you'll see that the best countries to live in the world are the ones which are the least religious. Places that are more religious, whether it's, states in America or whether it's the Middle East, tend to have the worst record when it comes to human rights, when it comes to the rights of women, right? Today, more than ever before, we care about women's rights, about children's rights, about animals' rights. Animals have the right not to be tortured. In America, if you want to use a horse or any animal in a movie, you have to apply for a permit to make sure, and the animal's rights are taken care of. If you have a child, you're not allowed to beat that child. If you have a wife, you can't beat your wife. These are all good things, and this is what we've done all of this without religion. Well, this kafir didn't make up the hadith. The hadith is right there in Sahih Bukhari 5203. Muhammad boycotted his wives for an entire month. A miracle because it's memorized by millions of people. Let's look at this claim. Here we have an example of Richards, who lives in Malaysia, who was able to win the French Scrabble Championship without knowing a single word of French. He memorized the French dictionary in 9 weeks. People often assume that because the Quran can be and is memorized by millions of people, that makes it a divine miracle. Not really. It takes 2 years and lots of repetition, but that's how it's done. Many Muslims start their kids on this journey from a very young age, sometimes completing the entire Quran by the age of 12. I propose an experiment. Offer the boy to memorize a book, anything comparable to the above, especially if it comes from an oral tradition. And then you will see that there will be tons and tons of people who will memorize the book. People are brainwashed, Muslims are brainwashed to memorize the Quran. Sorry to let you know that I actually have a pretty big YouTube channel. 56,000 subscribers and counting. Don't get your hopes up. I'm growing. I've only been on here a few days now. The name Abdullah actually exists before Islam. It was the name of Muhammad's father. Even Muhammad's name itself also existed before Islam. So you can't say the names belong to Islam. I converted from Ismailism to Sunni Islam when I was in my late teens. Then I founded 2 big Islamic websites, Verse by Verse Quran and lightuponlight.com. I was Sunni for most of my adult life. You know who else says that? If you were a proper Christian, you wouldn't have left Christianity and become Muslim. If you were a proper Hindu, you wouldn't have left Hinduism and become Muslim. You see how that works? It can work against you as well. Hey, if I'm helping you be a better Muslim, well, keep sharing my videos, keep sending them to people. Good for you. I'm happy for you, man. I'm not making anyone do anything. I'm just sharing my views. If people are leaving Islam, they're doing it all on their own. You know who forces people? Countries like Pakistan and Saudi that don't allow you to become an apostate or to criticize Islam openly.
This Abdullah Samir on TikTok, the most toxic ex-Muslim known to man.
I'd love to know which ex-Muslims are less toxic than me. Please let me know. I'd love to hear this.